from evil. Those are characters. Before we dwell into Job so much, because we are on the topic that when God what you must have. But now we want to see people who God, before we engage in this book of Job, people that God were proud of. One person was Jesus, because when Jesus is going to be baptized, the heaven opened and the voice was heard, "This is my only son, of whom I'm well pleased with." When God is pleased with you, you will make God proud. So let us learn to do the will of God. And remember, everything that Jesus did, he always said, "I have come to do the will of my Father." So when you do the will of your Father, who is God, when I do the will of my Father, who is God, then I'm making God to be proud of me. And now another person, nachukua tu juju ndio sasa tuingilie Job vizuri. Another person is David. Because for God to say that this is a man after my own heart, it means that God was what? Was proud of him. Kwa sababu ndio Mungu aseme tu, Pamela huyu ndio mwenye napenda, which means anaringia shetani. Isn't it? And another person pia nikiangalia, though hajakot, but when I was studying the book of Job, inasema, for God also to be proud of you, you must be focused on the mission that you have been called. We are children of God. We need to focus on things that are above, so that God will be proud of us. So now let us now dwell only on Job and Job alone. That is now chapter 1, verse 8 and 10. Let us see how God is proud of Job. Wacha nisome tu. Then Job said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth?" Imagine, utajisikia aje wakati Mungu anaenda mbele za Mungu anaambia shetani, "We, umeona huyo Pamela? Angalia venye yuko." Imagine, let us try so that God will always be proud of us. Na anasema there is none like him. Imagine God ndiye anatoa testimony that there is none like Selina, like Robert, like Anjugu, like what? And we are being told for God to do so, you must be a blameless person. Usikuwe mtu mwenye everywhere ukienda there is chaos, even before you can speak. You know, there is a friend of Robert somewhere at home. That person was known hata kabla kitu haijatendeka kama chaos iko, and he was around hata kama kuongea. Anasema huyo ni nani danasa? And for sure it made him to go to jail because of that. So wherever you go, please make sure you are a blameless person. Wacha watu wa kudefend, ukienda mahali mtu asema nani ameiba, atasema no. Everywhere you be, just be faithful. If you become faithful, it will not you who will be defending yourself, but God will raise somebody somewhere to defend you and say, for sure, if you are saying of this of Mama, no. There was somebody who defended me and I didn't know. And for your information, today is when Robert will hear of this. They will feature Zaidi. So I went on the wall and I told God, because they have said that I took the money, and unajua nakisiwa nini ati ninavaa nazo, and by that time 206 hata sikuwa navaa, si aki kusema tu kweli. So I went on the wall and told God, from today henceforth I want you to bless me so that people will know it was not that money. And I even gave condition, I don't want to wear clothes that is less than 2,000 Kenya shillings. And that is what God did to me. Amen. So don't even worry. Wakiongea kuhusu sasa roho umejua. Okay? Let us go back to him. But the woman did what? Defended me. Because the woman told them, I know Mama Chris. I know she cannot do such like thing. I know. So it is good when we remain blameless, when we walk uprightly, when we shun from sin, and when we fear God. People will defend us. And when you do such, God is proud of you. So, and he says, that is God himself. Then the Lord said, it is chapter 1 of Job, verse 8. Kwa ule mtu mwenye hajafikia hapo. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shun from evil. Huyo ni Mungu mwenyewe anatetea nani? Ayub. And that's why my topic is when God is proud of you. And look at Job. Even in those trials and temptation, Job is seated. Na mtu anaingia. Umekaa. Watoto wako wamekufa. Umekaa. Animals zimeenda. Umekaa. Nini imetendeka? But now let us stand in Job chapter 2. Hapo penye. Chapter 1 too. The reason why God is proud of who? Of Job. Hapo penye ana rose. The Bible says, that is chapter 1 verse 20. In the middle of trials. Look at what Job does. Then Job arose after he was given soma hizi wenye mtajisomea. I'm just teaching, we are teaching ourselves why God is proud, isn't it? And we have taken Job. Now, then Job arose, tore his robe, and shaved his head, and he fell to the ground and worshipped the Lord. For God to be proud of you, don't even look at your temptation, don't even look at your trials. Focus on the Lord. Worship the Lord in the midst of your trial. Trust in the Lord. Most of the time, we are human beings. And at times, things become tough to an extent that we complain, we grumble, we even ask questions. It is good to ask God, why me? Why should I suffer like this? But now, for God to be proud of you, look at what Job is doing. After all these trials and temptation that is going through, the pain that Job is going through, Job decides to worship the Lord in the midst of the pain. And that's why God is proud of him. So for us, for God to be proud of us, let us worship the Lord in the midst of our trials. Hata ukipitia, wacha kuambia wanadamu wataichukua kuwa sasa that is topic ya kutembea. Unaona nani? Hata yeye hako hivi na hivi. Yes, it's not bad to share because wanasema problem shared is half solved, isn't it? Yeah. But look at who you are sharing with. Because as a Christian, you must also have the burden bearers. And the burden bearers ni wale kama spiritual leaders wako. When things are tough, you go and tell them. You must have somebody by yourself mwenye anakuombea. Yani mwenye munaomba pamoja. Yeah. One day things were tough. It made me to reach my spiritual father very far away. Very far. And for sure, they stalled. And we saw the victory of the Lord. So I don't deny ya kwamba usiambie mtu. One thing I'm saying, identify a spiritual father or a spiritual mother who will assist you. Na huyo mtu lazima awe kiwango cha juu kukushinda wewe. Usiende uchukue mwenye unashinda. Wewe sasa ndio utakuwa spiritual wake. Sio yeye. So you go for somebody who is higher than you. So for God to be proud of us, tumeona venye Mungu anaringa akiambia Satan and the things that we are supposed to do, to be blameless, to walk uprightly, to fear God, and to shun away from evil. And then in the midst of that trials, Job was seen worshiping the Lord. And another thing that we learned from Job that makes him God to be proud of him, Job never valued the things that he had. That's why when you continue to read downwards, there is somewhere that he said, naked I came, and naked shall I go. Hakukwamilia, hakuanza kusema Mungu nilipatia watoto, sasa ndio hao umewachukua, umechukua ng'ombe zangu, si ndivyo. Aliziwacha kando. Chenye alikuwa anashughulika na three things. Yeye alikuwa anashughulika tu na Mungu, uhusiano wake na Mungu. Isn't it one thing? Yeye alikuwa anashughulikia uhusiano wake na Mungu. That's why tunaona even in the midst of that, he decided to worship the Lord. So today I am praying and we are teaching one another that in the midst of our trials, let us worship the Lord. And there are two powerful weapons that when you are going through tough things, you need to do: one, pray; two, worship. Sababu kunafika mahali even you cannot pray. But worship, there is power in worship. Just worship hata ukisema Baba unastahili kuabudiwa. You just remain there. You just say unastahili kuabudiwa. Hivyo tu, I'm telling you, there are other battles that is naenda because of worship. So Job knew about it and he worshipped. Another thing, Job never valued anything apart from God. That's why hata wakati alikuwa anapitia hizi, the Bible say he said, naked I came from my mother and naked shall I go. Na tunaona Yesu pia akituambia for us to follow him or for us to carry the cross, we must put aside everything. And the Bible says that whoever retains his life, he will lose it. But whoever loses his life will retain it. So wakati sisi, we are losing our life because of Christ. In the glory to come, we are going to receive that life. And that's why I'm telling you, when you reach a point that you are in troubles and you worship the Lord is proud of you. And when you read the story of Job, God knew that at any given point, Job cannot turn away from me. There was just something that alikuwa na try kuambia Satan, because sio Satan alimuuliza, yeye ndiye aliuliza, have you considered? Which means God had full confidence in whom? In Job, that hata ukimwendea. You know, after that, Satan hakuchoka. Tena let us go in chapter 2. Tuone venye tena Mungu is proud of who? Of Job. Chapter 2 sasa hapo ni verse